Grand Rising Beloveds. Welcome to my part three of my series that I'm doing. I'm breaking this down to y'all, making y'all for you to understand exactly what we're dealing with here. And that all of these murders and certain things and events that take place are not random. They are strategic. And there's a few things I left out that I want to explain to you also. First, I want to explain to you about the number 666. We've been taught to believe that the number 666 is involved with our enemy, the chemical makeup of our enemy. But you have to understand that the Bible, first of all, it was taken from the papyruses out of Egypt. And they put different things together and came up with this book, but they also tampered with it. So the information is not accurate. There's a lot of accuracy in the Bible, but there's a lot of inaccuracies in the Bible. And right now, at this time in 2020, there's no excuse for you not to know what's going on. But I'm going to break down this 666 thing to you. Now, in science, when you have the breakdown of chemicals like water is H2O and stuff like that. Well, 666 breaks are the components, scientific chemical components of carbon. Everything I'm telling y'all can go look it up online. You can go online and see put 666 carbon and it'll break it down for you. Now, carbon is the chemical makeup of melanin, which we produce daily in our mind, in our body through pituitary gland in our brain, and this is what causes us to be the complexion that we are, because we naturally uh, we naturally produce melanin in our bodies every day. And melanin, if you look that up, is about almost $400 an ounce now. It's more than it's the most coveted thing on available out there. Melanin, not gold, not platinum, melanin. So 666 are the components of melanin, which is us. But in the Bible, it tells you that 666 is the beast, is the enemy. And 666 is not the beast. What they do is they have taught us things and put certain ideologies in place for us to digest, whereas we're fighting each other. Because they can't fight us. So they have to use us to get rid of their enemy because they don't have the power to do so. That's the meaning for all of these secret societies and these boule groups. Y'all look up boule. Steve Coakley out of Chicago broke down all of this because he was working for Harold Robinson. I don't know what his name is. I think he was the mayor or the governor. And he started finding things out and he began to break it down. And he died a couple of years ago. They said it was heart failure, but I don't know about that. But he's the one that introduced the education to us about these secret groups that they recruit black people into and give them careers and money to fight for them because they can't fight us by themselves. They need us to fight us, especially now because it's a new day and we're coming into our powers and the sun is activating certain things within us, and it's really, really deep. So when I go to 666 and I show you how they taught us that 666 were the components of man and it's the beast, they only did that so that we could fight that and think it's evil and have negative thoughts about it so we can fight each other. This is the same thing they're doing in Chicago with you guys on a physical scale by separating you via gangs, because at first it was BGDN, Black Gangster Disciple Nation. I don't know the details of what caused them to have a fallout and break out into two different groups, but that strong group being one and then broken into two also was able to have their idea of us fighting us come to fruition. This is how they do things. That's why they recruit people into these sororities and fraternities. That's another way to separate us and have us fight us. I hope y'all are understanding this part because it's very important. Now, I was doing some more research. This is why I took so long to do this video. Because as I was telling y'all before, there's an energy vortex over there that these people harness to do certain things and open portals. And I found a location. It's in the ground beneath the West Fulton Market in Chicago, which I believe is on the north side. And it's not too far from the Gold Coast. So, I think it's West Chicago. Yeah, it's West Chicago near the Gold Coast. I'm not sure, guys, because I'm not from Chicago, but I'm trying to be as accurate as I can. Now, as I was digging into the history of the Black Gangster Disciple Nation, I started studying about Larry Hoover. And what I discovered about Larry Hoover is they sentenced him to 150 to 285 years of prison. If you add up 150, that's 6. Because why is it 6? In numerology, this is the numerology they use. 1 plus 5 is 6. So 150 would be considered have the energy of 6. 285 is also 6 because 10 plus 5, let me see, no, 8, 9, 10 plus 5. Yeah, 10 plus 5, that'll give you 6 also because you got 10 plus 5 is 16. But if you take out, wait a minute, what am I saying here? I had the math done and now I get lost. This is why I take so much time to do these things. 13, 14, 15, right. 285, if you add that up, it adds up to 15. And 15, 1 plus 5 is 6. So that's 2 6s, right? The other 6 came from, there was another 6. They gave him 6 life sentences. So there you go. 6 life sentences, 150 to 85 years. 1 plus 5 is 6. 2 plus 8 plus 5 is 15. 5 plus 1 is 6. There's the 666. And why they do these things with these numbers is, this is how they speak to each other. They speak to each other in codes because they really think that we're stupid and we don't dig that deep. We only look at surface shit. So 666 is the way they identify that we're doing this for a reason. This person is a threat to us and our plans and our agendas. So Larry Hoover was a threat. Why was Larry Hoover a threat? Any gang member that matured past 25 and got into his manhood and got into manhood becomes a threat because they're now able to, they're mature now and they're now able to look at that lifestyle in a different light and realize that we're committing genocide against each other. So they don't want them over, the gangs over there, to have any type of guidance. So without guidance, you get what we see now. KKK, kings killing kings. You get my metaphor? Now, I have some more stuff because I went into Jeff Fort too. And Jeff Fort, they didn't really have to go after him because after he got shot and he was injured, he died 5 years later. So they wasn't really concerned with Jeff Fort. But I'm going to tell you this. They used Jeff Fort's energy and the energy of the Black Peace Stones to do the TV series The Wire. That's why they named one of the main characters Avon Barksdale after the leader of after David Barksdale, who took over and was the head of the Black Peace Stones for some time. So Jeff Fort was killed. No, Jeff Fort, I don't know. I gotta do some more research going because my notes are a little scrambled here. But the black pea stones use the six-pointed star of David, okay, which is a Jewish symbol for Judaism. Where did they get that from? You have sometimes these people infiltrate to bring this energy to us, and then it takes on a life of its own. But they bring this stuff into our communities, and sometimes they do it with the person that's spearheading this energy, carrying this energy, bringing this energy among us unknowingly. They don't know what they're doing. Half the time, they don't know what they're doing. They don't know what the effects are going to be. But I found some sixes with the black pea stones too. So that's how I know that the real ops are behind both groups. Or not, if not behind it, they infiltrated it. So when I get my notes together, I'm going to finish this. I'm going to keep doing it as I come up with things. I'm going to keep doing different parts. But also another link to the Wire show, because when I started looking at the documentaries, I was saying to myself that, wow, this crazy shit really reminds me of the Wire. It's like a real life TV series come to life. But you have to also note that Ki was calling herself Little Snoop. Ki from Taekwon World. So if you see that this energy infiltrates us and it attaches to us and it causes these things to happen, I'm not going to put blame on either side, the BDs or the GDs. They're under a spell. So I want y'all to digest this information and start connecting the dots. And while you guys are doing that, I'm going to go back and do some more digging, get my notes together, write them out clearly so I can present it to you clearly. Peace and love.